Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We're reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 3, the Lord's pastimes in the house of Advaita Acharya. So we're seeing, yesterday we were reading that when all the devotees, especially the Brahmana devotees, express their desire to also give alms to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sachimata, overhearing this, she said, I have a request, a petition. All of you will get to see Mahaprabhu on Nimai, my Nimai, on other occasions also, but I don't have any chance. So this time, please, I beg you that let me cook for Nimai for all the days that he's here. She was very eager to serve. And all the other devotees also unanimously agreed, yes, 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 we agree to what Sachimata said. They actually started offering obeisances to her, seeing her love for Mahaprabhu, and they said, yes, yes, Sachimata will cook. We have no problem, we agree to this. When Mahaprabhu saw this, he was also like agitated in his heart, seeing the love of his devotees and his mother. And then he said that, listen, he gathered all the devotees together and he said, my dear devotees, somehow I have taken this sannyas abruptly, but I'm not going to give up on all of you, because a sannyasi is not allowed to mingle with family members and friends. He's just, it's like, in fact, like the older brother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vishwarup. Nobody ever saw him again. His parents, his village people, or anybody that he knew before sannyas, nobody saw him. So that's how sannyas is. So Mahaprabhu is saying, no, but even though I have taken sannyas, I cannot give up on all of you, nor can I give up my mother. But at the same time, so on one hand, I'm unable to. It's not that I don't want to. I cannot live without you, nor without my mother. I cannot give up my affection for all of you and for my mother. But at the same time, according to Shastra, the sannyas dharma does not permit one to live in the same village, right, his birthplace, or in his home with his relatives and family members. So now I'm asking all of you to come up with an arrangement where both these conditions can be satisfied, that I can still have my affectionate relationship with all of you, and at the same time, I will not be blamed by others that what type of a sannyasi he is, that he's living with his family members in the same village, like that. Then all the devotees headed by Advaita Acharya, hearing this, went to Sachimata and said, this is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, that, come up with a solution. So then, when she heard this, Sachimata begins to speak. So what did Sachimata say? So Sachimata said, if Nimai, so just try to understand the emotion of Sachimata. When she said that I will not be able to see Nimai, what are the chances that I will ever be able to see Nimai? Can you understand? What is the pain in her heart? This is the last time in my life, it's probably this is going to be the last time in my life that I will get to see Nimai, who is the only reason why I'm even living. When her husband died, first of all, when her son took sannyas, Vishwarup took sannyas, she was so heartbroken. And then when her husband died because of that grief, and she was a widow, and she had a small child, Nimai. She would have died herself because of that pain, but looking at the beautiful face of Nimai, she could not die. So her only hope for living was Nimai. And now Nimai had a young wife and a widowed mother, and he took sannyas. So what is, you can imagine her pain. So Sachimata is saying, still she's saying, yeah, he has taken sannyas, he's going to go away. So I don't have any other, this is the only chance I have, please let me cook. So seeing this, seeing her love and her pain in separation, Nimai is agitated. And of all the other devotees also who were in Navadvip, practically every moment they were with Mahaprabhu, day and night. They couldn't live without him. And they have all come. They also wanted to do some service to him. So hearing this, Mahaprabhu said, so I don't want to give up on you, right? It's not like, I don't know why I took sannyas, I just took sannyas, but I don't want to give up on you people. So now you give a solution where both can be fulfilled, that I will not give up your association, and at the same time I will not be blamed for not uh, carrying out my sannyas dharma properly. Come up with a solution. And this request was put forward Sachimata. And what did Sachimata say? She said, if Nimai stayed at home with me, that would be my greatest joy, greatest happiness. If she had Nimai with her in her house all her life, that would be her highest happiness. But if he is criticized by the world or by anyone for being a false sannyasi, a fallen sannyasi, that would be the source of my greatest unhappiness. So then we discussed that at length yesterday, that point, how she's setting example for all mothers, uh, that they shouldn't just hold on to their sons, right? Even though it's a source of pleasure to have their sons at home with them, they should actually allow their sons to leave home and go in search of Krishna. That would be a real mother who actually wishes the welfare of her son. So now the next verse, what is Sachimata saying? Tate ei yukti bhalo mora mane loy nila chale rohe jadi dui karya hoy. So Sachimata is the one who's giving this solution. Tate ei yukti bhalo. Yukti means this is a plan, right? This is the solution. Tate, therefore, or therefore means both of these are going to, one thing is going to give me happiness, one thing is going to give me pain. So, therefore, I have come up with this solution. What is that solution? Ei yukti bhalo, mora mane loy. So, in my mind, this plan has appeared. This good plan, this nice plan has appeared in my mind. Neelachale rahe jadi, dui karya hoy. If he stays in Neelachal, which is nearby to Navadvip, but it is not in Navadvip, right? So he's not going to live in his hometown, but it is close by. That means devotees can keep going and coming. So Neelachale rohi jadi, dui karya hoy. That we can still be in touch with Mahaprabhu, and also he will not be blamed for, breaking his sannyas dharma. Neelachale rahe jadi dui karya hoy. Mother Sachi said, this consideration is good. In my opinion, if Nimai remains at Jagannath Puri, Neelachala means Jagannath Puri. If Nimai remains at Jagannath Puri, he may not leave any one of us because it's nearby. So he may not leave any one of us if he's in Jagannath Puri. And at the same time, he can remain aloof as a sannyasi. Thus, both purposes are fulfilled. Another thing is, you see, Nimai wanted to go to Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he actually started off right after sannyas, he was headed towards Vrindavan. And that's when Mahaprabhu said, without taking your blessings, I tried to go to Vrindavan. Therefore, there were obstacles. My desire was not fulfilled. Right? So he wanted to go to Vrindavan. So that is also, that is why Sachimata is suggesting Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, because Jagannath Puri is non-different from Vrindavan, like that. So next, Nilachale Navadvipe, sorry, Nilachale Navadvipe Jena Dui Ghara, Loka Gata Gati Varta Pabo Nirantara. Nilachale Navadvipe Jena Dui Ghara. Nilachal and Navadvip are like two rooms in the same house, right? You have a house, and in the house you have three bedrooms, right? So you're in the same house. Somebody is in one bedroom, the other one is in another bedroom, or maybe someone is in the kitchen, someone is in the living room. If you're in the house, would you not get information of what a person is doing in the next room? Yes, you would get. So Nilachal and Navadvip are like two rooms of the same house. So from constantly from time to time, we can get news of what's going on in the next room, right? We can get information. So it's not like complete separation. Somebody taking sannyas means you don't know where he is, what happened to him, whether he's living or dead also they wouldn't know. Sannyas was as good as socially dying. Nobody would know anything, no any whereabouts of the person who has taken sannyas. He's gone for good. That was the system. But if Mahaprabhu stayed in Jagannath Puri, because Jagannath Puri and Navadvip are like two rooms of the same house, all the time devotees from Navadvip are going to Jagannath Puri for Rath Yatra, all the time. Even now devotees go, right? They go to Jagannath Puri all the time. At least once a year they go and come, and maybe even more often. So they are like two rooms in the same house. So we will get information of Nimai. So we are still in touch, but at the same time, it's not breaking the sannyas dharma because he's not in the same village, he's not in the same house, he's still aloof. So this will satisfy both conditions. Sachimata's plan. Since Jagannath Puri and Navadvip are intimately related, as if they were two rooms in the same house, people from Navadvip generally go to Jagannath Puri, and those in Jagannath Puri go to Navadvip. This going and coming will help carry news of Lord Chaitanya. In this way, I will be able to get news of him. তুমি সবা করিতে পারো গমনা গমনা গঙ্গা স্নানে কভু হবে তারা আগমনা তুমি সবা করিতে পারো gamana gamana. So all of you can travel, go back and forth, right? You can go and come. So you will be seeing. So there were two things, right? Sachimata, Mahaprabhu said, I cannot give up you devotees and I cannot give up my mother. Both are there. So how by the Lord staying in Jagannath Puri, how the Lord will be able to keep in touch with the devotees? Because the devotees can physically go. They can go to Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri and they can meet him because it's nearby. It's not like in Vrindavan. How frequently can devotees go to Vrindavan? Even if you have, modern conveyances now, how frequently do devotees go to Vrindavan as compared to Navadvip? I mean, to Jagannath Puri from Mayapur. It's just an overnight ride, right? You start at night, and then early in the morning, 5 o'clock, you get down in Jagannath Puri. But Vrindavan, it's not like that. First of all, you don't have a direct train to Vrindavan. You go to Delhi and then you take a bus for several hours, and then you go to Mathura, and from Mathura again you take another conveyance, and then you go to Vrindavan. That is with all these modern facilities now, and it takes so long. And what to speak of back then when they would actually walk, right? So it would take several months for somebody to just go there, and then also several months to come back. And how many people can go like this? So you wouldn't get enough. And by the time, so many things would have happened. By the time you carry that news, that would have been outdated. Something else would have happened, but you don't know. But Jagannath Puri and Navadvip are not like that. Constantly devotees are going and coming back. One person gets some news, and then 2 days later another person comes and can give fresh news. And there are so many devotees going back and forth. So Sachimata is saying all of you can go to Jagannath Puri from time to time and you see him there. Not only that, he can also come, not to see his family or anything, but he can come to take bath in Ganga. The sannyasis can go to take bath in Ganga. So from Jagannath Puri, he can come to take bath in Ganga and he will also see all of you. And you will also see him. For myself, because devotees are going and coming back, they will give me news of what's going on with Nimai. So I'm satisfied. I'm able to, that is sufficient, right? In my condition, what else can I expect? At least if I get news about him, then I'm satisfied that he's doing well, like this. Sachimata's plan. All you devotees will be able to come and go. And sometimes he may also come to take his bath in the Ganges. आपनार दुख सुख ताहा नाही गणी तार जय सुख ताहा निज सुख मानी आपनार दुख सुख taha nahi gani. I'm not counting my happiness or my distress. This is actually love. That is why material love and spiritual love are different, right? The closest love to spiritual love in this material world is the love of a mother for her baby, because um, she's not really thinking what I'm going to get in return, right? She will just, she will do what is, she'll try to keep the baby peaceful, happy, healthy, like that. That's the closest. So spiritual love is not about how I will be happy in my bhakti. It's more about what will please the Lord. So to the extent, of course, initially when we come to Krishna consciousness, we come because we become very happy. It's natural that you will become happy because he is the root and we are the parts. So naturally, when the root is satisfied, the whole plant is satisfied. So we become happy. If he is satisfied with our service, then we all become happy. That's natural. But that's not the reason why a devotee is rendering. As you progress in Krishna consciousness, you will be more concerned about what pleases Krishna, regardless of whether it pleases me or not. It may be very distressful for me, physically or on other levels also, but I will still do that because this pleases the Lord. The highest devotees are the gopis, right? So this is the mood of the Brajbasis. They don't care for their personal happiness. That's the nature of bhakti or love, actually, right? The topmost devotees are the Brajagopis, but that's the nature of love. You take any devotee, you take Hanuman, how many risks he took, Was it a pleasure to have his tail burnt? But his pleasure was he was doing it for Lord Ramchandra. So when you actually take pains and difficulties for the service of the Lord, that actually gives you great pleasure. But you're not doing it for pleasure, you're doing it for the service of the Lord. When you serve in that mood, it actually gives you great pleasure. But the mood of a devotee is never, what am I going to get out of it? Whereas fruitive mentality is, if I do this, then how am I going to benefit? If I'm going to benefit, then I will do it. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Isn't it? So when we do something, we'll see how is this going to benefit me. But if I begin to become a pure devotee, I will consider how is this beneficial for Krishna's movement? If I did this, how is it going to serve the purpose of Krishna, of the spiritual master, of the mission? And even if it means personal discomfort, personal loss, defamation, whatever, but if this is actually going to help the movement, if it is going to help the Lord's mission, it's a source of my pleasure. I'll do it. So these are the, as one advances, that's how he will consider. Also, just like you have the different various levels of consciousness, the lowest level of consciousness is annamaya, right? Food. I just need my food, right? I don't care for anyone around whether they have it or not. I have to get first. That's the lowest consciousness. And little higher consciousnesses, you start sharing with others. Like this, the highest consciousness, right? There is annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, jnana vijnanamaya, and then ultimately there is anandamaya. Anandamaya is this devotional service where you do it. Your source of pleasure is not your food, or you don't take pleasure in sharing with others, or you're not on the mental plane or the intellectual plane. Rather, this is on the plane of the soul, and the soul's nature is Jivera Swarupohoy Krishnera Nityadas. So this is the devotional plane, and your source of pleasure is the pleasure of Krishna. This is the highest consciousness. So Sachimata is saying, my happiness or my distress is not what I'm counting. Whether it gives me happiness or whether it's giving me distress, that's not what I'm counting. Tara jai sukha, taha nija sukhamani. If it gives him pleasure, that is the source of my pleasure. If it makes him happy, that makes me happy. Personally, whether something is giving me happiness or distress, I don't care for that. But anything which gives him happiness, that's what I'm going to accept as my happiness. I do not care for my personal happiness or unhappiness, but only for his happiness. So I care only for his happiness. I don't care for my happiness or my distress. I care only for his happiness. Indeed, I accept his happiness as my happiness. शुनि भक्त गण तारे कोरिला स्तवना वेद आज्ञा यैचे माता तुम्हारा वचना. Shuni Bhakta Gana Tare Korila Stavana. So they all started. Stava means what? Stava means offering prayers, glorification, right? So Shuni Bhakta, when they heard Sachimata's words that I don't care for my happiness or unhappiness, I only care for his happiness is my happiness. When they heard this from Sachimata, they all started glorifying Sachimata, offering prayers to Sachimata. Veda Agya Yaiche Mata Tomara Vachana. Whatever you have said is actually the word of the Veda, right? This is the absolute truth. What you have said is the absolute truth. This is the statement of the Vedas. You're talking directly from the Vedas. What you said is, your statement is in complete agreement with the Vedas. It is the absolute truth. After hearing Sachimata, all the devotees offered her prayers and assured her that her order, like a Vedic injunction, could not be violated. Yes, that means, okay. Veda Agya Yaiche Mata Tomar Vachana. Sorry. So, what they are saying is that the way one cannot, when a Vedic statement is made, uh, you cannot argue on that. If a Vedic statement does not match with logic, right? It doesn't make sense. This is the standard example always we hear. Animal stool is impure. As soon as you touch animal stool, you must take bath. This is Vedic statement. This is Vedic statement. But when someone touches cow dung, even if you're contaminated, you become purified by touching cow dung. So then, with your logic, if you say no, but Vedic statement said all animals' stool is impure, cow is an animal, so cow's stool must also be impure. How can Vedas contradict their own statements? You cannot say that. Anything which is said in the Vedas, even if it appears to be contradictory to your small intelligence, you must accept it as it is. There's no question of not agreeing because it doesn't make sense to your logic. Nobody can say anything against the Vedic statements. The Vedic statements are the ultimate proof. They are the Shastra Pramana, ultimate proof. So the devotees are saying, Sachimata, your words. What did Sachimata say? Let him stay in Jagannath Puri. So your order is as good as Vedic statement. Nobody can go against it. It will be done. Your will be done. Like that, they're saying. And they actually praise Sachimata. Because her order, her statement was also completely in agreement. It was meant for the Lord's happiness. It was not meant for her selfish motive. So they said, your order is like a Vedic statement. Right? After hearing Sachimata, all the devotees offered her prayers and assured her that her order, like a Vedic injunction, could not be violated. Bhaktagana Prabhu age asiya kohila shuniya Prabhura mane ananda hoila. So they all went back to Mahaprabhu and then they said, this is what Sachimata said. When the Lord heard this, he became very blissful. Yes, right? I'll stay in Jagannath Puri. All the devotees informed Lord Chaitanya of Sachimata's decision. Hearing it, the Lord became very pleased. नवद्वीपवासी आदि जत भक्त गण सबारे सम्मान कोरी बोलिला वचना. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered respects to all the devotees present from Navadvip and other towns, speaking to them as follows. So now Mahaprabhu begins to speak to all the other devotees who came from Navadvip as well as the neighboring villages. Tumi Saba Loka Mora, Loka means people. Tumi Saba Loka Mora Parama Bandhava, you are my close relatives. Bandhu means friends. Mora parama bandhava ei bhikka mago more deha tumi saba. I want to ask you one something in charity. All of you must give me this donation. What is that? My dear friends, you are all my intimate friends. Now I am begging a favor of you. Please give it to me. What is that favor? घरे याना करो सदा कृष्ण संकीर्तन krishna nama krishna katha krishna aradhana. When you all go back home, what should you do? You should do krishna sankirtan. You should chant Krishna's name. You should do hear krishna katha and speak krishna katha, and you should worship Krishna. Chant Krishna's name, hear and speak Krishna katha, and worship Krishna. This is Mahaprabhu's request. We will do this verse tomorrow. There's a long purport and it's already time. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much. We'll continue tomorrow.